Exactly 1 year ago to the day, October 25th, 2018, I gave my user experience review of the Cycliq Fly6CE rear cycling safety camera light device. It was a bit of a mixed review, to be honest. Now, the purpose of this device is to sit on the back of your bike and record whatever's coming at you non-stop in a big recording loop with a few hours of battery life, and it does that quite well. But there are a few rough edges around all of that, including the administration and the firmware updating. That was, to be honest, completely horrible for 2018 standards. Well, just the other day, they've finally released an auto-updater to make that process completely different and a lot easier. So I thought on the birthday of my user review of this device, we'd cover that. We'll jump through the process and see how easy it is to get this to update with their new auto updater software. Kicking things off, I'll first connect to this camera and have a look at what firmware we have on it, just to make sure it's still alive. I have given it a full charge before doing this update process. Okay, it's detected that. We hit connect. 99% battery, close enough. Settings, and we'll go about device to have a look at the firmware that's on there. We'll compare that to what it gets updated to later on. About device. And we have 11256. I'll see if I can remember that when we get to it. So that's where we're at. The camera appears to be all good. We are connected to it. Let's get back to the main screen. We'll hit disconnect on that. Disconnect, okay, and we'll close that app out and follow the procedure for updating the firmware. Jumping over here to the Cycliq website to get this process underway, and they do note right here, updating the Cycliq's firmware used to be a pretty complicated process. Yes, it was. Not anymore. They go through here explaining what is happening and what's going on. Now, this is a beta firmware auto updater, so it is beta at the moment, but I want to get that on here straight away so I can get the firmwares on here, because as I always say, products are only ever one firmware update away from being a better experience or a fixed experience. I think I'll go for a better experience with this. Okay, auto updated for Mac. Let's get that rolling. 13.5 meg download. Right, with the Cycliq Firmware Updater Beta 17 now loaded, let's double click and welcome to OS X Catalina. Things are locked down, we cannot open that app. Okay, a few processes I need to go through here. It's listed here, so preferences, security and privacy general, allow apps downloaded from. Okay, let's do a quick update on that. So we go to security and privacy. General, and we can't touch allow apps downloaded from, and let's unclick that, use password. Okay, now does that allow us to then execute this? No, it doesn't. Does this open package? Right click, does this? No, it doesn't. Okay, a little bit of tinkering in the back end to get this up and running. So I've now got this prompting here as I'd expect. Catalina wouldn't open the app normally. I've now gone into the terminal, opened the app, so it should now be here in the settings for me to open anyway. Cool. So I've now given that permission to open. And we're finally there. Okay, we've got this up and running. So that took a little bit more than what I thought. Again, it is a beta firmware updater and the new OS X is still early on. Right. Now we have the process, let's run through what's required here. So the firmware updater currently supports only the Fly6CE, so the Fly12CE will be coming later on. No device connected, make sure your SD card is correctly inserted, correct. If your SD card is freshly formatted or new, etc., blah, blah, blah. The 6 o'clock issue, if the LED in the bezel remains lit, no, that's all good. Okay, so we need a USB cable, and because I'm on a Mac with only USB-C, I have some USB-A to USB-C converters just here. Links below, $10 for 5 of these on Amazon. It's pretty handy. That goes in there. This goes in top. This is USB-C on top. That goes in there, like so. And we allow, one sec. Okay, with everything connected, and it says here we have a firmware update available. We'll hit continue. We'll hit update. Battery's fully charged. We'll hit continue. Downloading new firmware. Do not remove SD card. Hold the power button down for 2 seconds or until update in progress appears to keep device connected. Please hold down power button for 2 seconds. Power button. It's over here. 1, 2. Update in progress. Please wait. Do not close this window. Do not disconnect the device. Okay, everything is kosher. Okay, detecting device information. Okay, the BLE firmware version has been updated. Cool, so it's updated the Bluetooth firmware on the device. Unit firmware 1125636 should be updating now. Do not remove SD card. Downloading new firmware. You're almost there. Please hold power button for 2 seconds. Oh, here we go again. 1, 2, done. That's better so far. In the past, you had to do that and then disconnect and reconnect and put files on file systems. This is good. This is good. Oh, okay. It was beta. Come on. After the cue light has stopped flashing, the device will beep. Okay, disconnect. Then disconnect and reconnect the device. Please don't close this window. Okay, so there might be something to do with disconnecting and reconnecting. We shall wait and see. After the cue light stops, the device will beep once. Okay, so the light's flashing on the front. Not sure if you can see that. Now the cue light, it's because the light is behind the cue. Okay, cool. It'll beep once, disconnect, and then reconnect the device. Right, disconnect, reconnect. Was that the procedure I didn't follow in the first place? Checking device information. There we go. Firmware updated. Happy days. I'm stoked with that. Okay. A few little hiccups there. One with the operating system that I've updated on here, which caused a problem with security issues. That update process failing. Did I not follow? I have to go back through the video. Did I not follow that procedure correctly? Anyhow, and we're on here. We have firmware 1126084. We have BLE firmware 11, all the ones and all the zeros. It's good to go. We'll hit disconnect on that. We will unplug. So a few pain points there, but we are now at a point where that app will work. I'll keep an eye on the updated app for that. But now that's done, get that out of the way. We'll go back to the phone, just make sure we can connect to it, and we'll check the settings. It has been a bit of a roller coaster of emotions, again with the Fly6CE. But look, that now works. I should have just taken my time. Scan again. Let's have a look. No device. Do I need to turn it on or something just to be sure it boots up the first time? Okay, I'll turn it on, scan again. Might be something to do with first boot. There we go. Cool. It's online and connect. There we go. It's currently recording. I will stop the recording once there. There we go. It comes up as recording. We'll hit stop on the recording. Jump into the settings. That's off. That's still on. Settings. Still takes a little bit for those please waits updates, but about the device. And there we go. Firmware version 1126084. BLE firmware version 110. Happy days. We are on. Yeah, those menus are still a little slow. Video, timestamp, electronic stabilization. 1080-30 is what I use. 15-minute video, which is good. Not so many videos on the SD card. Device name. We can rename the device if we want. Okay, we'll call it Llama Fly 6 and hit save on that. So the Bluetooth device should now be Llama Fly 6 when searching for it. Cool. Okay, so there we are. We do have the latest firmware on here. That procedure was a little rough and rocky. I think that's because of the operating system on here, and it was the first installation of that new firmware and that beta tool. What it shows though is they're moving in the right direction. They are 99% there. Once that's out of beta and in production and possibly in the Mac App Store and the Windows App Store, that should be fine. No hassles at all. So where we're at the moment, 1 year on after my user experience review of this, we have the latest firmware and we have a new tool that updates the firmware on here much easier. So Just to cover what's in the latest firmware, enhanced video quality and automatic exposure adjustment in all lighting conditions. Huge tick. I'll go out on the road and test that. More recording time in home safe mode. Not quite sure what that is. Ability to lock and view important footage later, so continue to record your ride. Okay, so if you capture something that's important, you can lock that down so it probably won't get overridden. Longer battery life. Double thumbs up for that. Customized Bluetooth device name, you saw that just before, we've renamed that. Improvements in reading and writing to your SD card and other minor bug fixes. Excellent. So in summary, definitely worth doing. If you're a Fly6CE owner, go through that process. If you can, Windows might be a little better if you've updated your Mac, or previous versions of the Mac OS might be a little easier than what you've just seen there. But the tool exists. Maybe give it a few weeks for them to put that into the App Store. They do mention on the Cycliq website the Fly12CE will be getting the same update and the same update process in a few weeks' time. So keep an eye on that. So there we are. Do your updates. Happy days. 1 year on. I'm going to go out and put this on the back of the bike and see how it rolls now. All right, thanks for watching and have a good weekend.